I'm being joined by legal practitioner, Mr. Jiti Ogiunye. Welcome to the program.
Yes, my pleasure to be here.
You're welcome. One twist to the conduct of pending election in Rivers State from the National Assembly was played out yesterday. The Senate said it would suspend plenary if INEC fails to conduct elections on or before December the 10th. Is that an avenue for the Senate to explore?
Well, I rather feel that it was unnecessary for the Senate to issue an ultimatum, as it were, regardless of how dire the situation might be. To start with, I look at Section 61 of the Constitution that provides that regardless of any vacancy in its membership, the Senate or the House of Representatives shall continue to do its job for what the people of the country have said that they should go there to do. So it is not necessary for them to issue an ultimatum that they will suspend plenary, meaning that they will stop working. In other words, they want to declare a strike. The other time, a governor of a state said I wanted to embark on a strike, and people started wondering what kind of strike he was going to embark upon. So that said, however, there is no excuse in my own judgment for INEC, even on the ground of security or pretext of security, to continue to withhold organizing this election, particularly in Rivers State. If you're talking about security in Rivers State, you talk about security in Nigeria. People are being killed all over the country. War is raging in the country, and in that particular part of the country where war was raging, election was conducted there. So if you look at certain provisions of the Constitution, you see that it is not permissible for this kind of election to be withheld for any time longer. If you look at the provision of Section 3 of the Constitution that says that the National Assembly, either house, shall sit for at least 180 days. So when you already take almost 2 years out of a tenure of 4 years, then what are you going to have? So in other words, the point I'm making is that, and people can say that it is security concern. I'm not a security agent, and I don't work for the security agency. But this INEC, since the last general election, since the emergence of this INEC, we've seen a penchant for postponement of elections.
So do you foresee that INEC is able to carry out elections between now and December the 10th?
INEC can fix an election date and tell the security agents, we'll fix an election, go and put your acts together and ensure that we get security, and let the security agents then come back to tell them that, no, we cannot guarantee security. That means they will be shirking their responsibility.
So therefore, the lapses has been from
INEC fix an election, tell the security agencies who want to organize an election, and let it be that it is the security agencies that are now saying they can't guarantee election. They can, supervise an election, meaning that they won't do their job. That's the point I'm making. It is not for INEC to provide security. But once INEC fixes a date for election, and security agencies say, sorry, on that day we'll be shirking our responsibility. We can't do the jobs that the taxpayers have said we should do. Then we know where the problem is coming from.
Okay, Section 76, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution says INEC should or must conduct election on a date that it's chosen into the National Assembly not later than 3 months before the end of that assembly, before the end of the expiration of the tenure of that assembly. So if INEC doesn't meet that deadline, from what that is, does it mean that INEC is not going against the law, since it has a 3-month window to the end of the tenure of the assembly?
No, that provision, we're dealing with an aberrant situation here. We're dealing with an anomaly. That provision relates to a situation in which a general election is to be conducted, and before the end of a particular tenure of a national assembly or an assembly, and it will conduct an election. So if you're going to have election petitions and all that, all this is expected to be resolved before the dawn of the new era of the new assembly. But Now you're dealing with a situation whereby INEC has conducted that election. The elections were cancelled by the courts through litigations. So they now have to organize fresh elections for those seats. So that provision does not speak to the peculiarity of the abnormality that we have on ground. And that's the more reason INEC ought to have post haste all the logistic and security permitting, organized fresh elections, in Rivers State.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jiti Ogiunye, for joining us on the program. Well, that's our program tonight. Many thanks for being part of the show. I'm Emana Amawe. On behalf of the team, bye for now.